All right, in this video, we're going to talk about contours in OpenCV using Python. So we'll start off by saying, what are contours? Why do we need it? How does it work? And jump straight into a coding example. So by the end of this video, we will see different properties of contours and also how to draw a contour like this example here on the right. Okay, so what are contours? Contour is could be defined as a piecewise collection of line segments or curves that describe the outline or location of an object. So in this example here, you can see this contour is described by a bunch of line segments. So that's an example of a contour. And why do we need contours? So there's different applications. Some things could include object detection, segmentation, or even just um, describing a region that you're interested in. Okay. So how do contours work? The way it works is usually you're gonna have a bunch of pixels, and maybe the pixels could be considered like a certain area or region. And the idea is you would have a region. Let's say these are pixels, right? And you would just follow along the region boundary, and then you keep following until you close the loop. And then that's what you would make a contour. And you kind of repeat that process with the different areas. And then from there, you might decide if that area is inside or outside, if it's a contour inside a contour, and so on. But there's a paper link down here if you want to read more about it. But the general idea is kind of border following in different pixel regions. Okay, so let's jump right into a coding example. Okay, so as usual, we're going to go ahead and import some of the modules that we'll need. So import cv2 as cv. And then we have import numpy as np, import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, and then import os. So I'm going to have a function called contours, and then our if name equals main here, and then inside of here we'll call our contours function. Okay, so inside our contours function, what we're going to have is go ahead and start off by reading our image. So we'll say root equals os.get cwd, and then the image path equals os.path.join, and we'll pass in our root here, and then our folder demo images, and it's called tessa.jpg. And then we'll go ahead and read in our image. So image equals cv.onRead, and then we'll pass in the image path, and we're going to read in it as a grayscale. So image onRead grayscale. Okay, so now we have read our image. So we're going to focus on just the Tesla logo in this example. So we're going to extract out that region. The pixel is going to be from 2680 to 2860, and then 1490 to 1720. It's a pre-selected region that I got. And we have PLT figure. So let's go ahead and plot it. So plt.subplot. We have a 231 structure. And then plt.show. And we will plot the image and then do a cmap gray here. And plt.show. Okay, so let's take a look at our logo here. So if I run this. Okay, so this is a logo that we'll be working with. So now let's do some things with it. So we're going to have a height and width of our image using the shape property. So we get our shape, and then we're going to do some scaling. Scale factor of 4 here. And then we have height. Just make it a little bit bigger. And then we have our height scale. Okay, so our height scale is going to be int and then scale times height. And then our width scale is going to be int scale. Okay, that's our width scale. So scale times the width. So that's our scale image. And our new image is going to be cv.resize. And we'll pass in image and then width scale and then height scale. So this may be useful if you're plotting it directly using the CV. Otherwise, you may not need it. Okay, so that's just for special cases. So let's go ahead and threshold this using cv.threshold. And then we'll pass in image and then the threshold 65, the max value of 255, and we're going to just do some simple binary threshold. And then the kernel that we will use is going to be a bunch of ones. That's 7 by 7 here. And then data type of uint8. Then the threshold result, we're going to use the dilate, cv.dilate. And we'll pass in our threshold image with our kernel. So this will just kind of help show the details a little bit better. So now if I pass in the contour, I'm going to do contours. There's a new function now that we're introducing is the find contours function. So cv.find contours. So this will let us find the contours inside our image. And then cv dot, I had a video on the threshold value earlier. So if you need more information on that, you could go check out the dilation. But here we have the retrieval tree. So there's different methods. The idea is you could retrieve it whether there's a hierarchy or not. The tree method gets all the contours whether there's a hierarchy or not. So by hierarchy, it just means if a contour is inside a contour. So depending on what option you choose, it'll decide which level. So the retrieval tree, this one will just get all of them. And then the next one is called the chain approx simp. So decides to only store the essential points or all the points. So if you just have some key points that you need, then you will do the chain approx simple. Okay, so that's what we'll be doing. And then for our contours, we're gonna put it inside a list here because our draw function requires it inside a list. So here we have cv draw contours. This will let us draw our contours on our image. And I'll pass in contours. And next argument is idx, which will -1 for default, 0, 0, 255, and then thickness of 3. Okay, so this will draw our contours. Now, if I go ahead and plot this, we'll see how it looks like. So plt.subplot. You have a 232 and then plt.show, and we'll pass in the thresholds, cmap, and then equals gray. And then my other image, subplot 233 plt.show, and then this will be our image, and we'll do cmap equals gray here. So let's take a look at what this looks like. So when I dilate, it'll expand the region, and then here it draws also in black because it's grayscale, but you can see there's a border around the contour now. Okay, so that's what these two steps are doing. Now there's some properties you can deal with when you're dealing with contours. One of them is the center of mass. You could get that by looking at the moments. So there's a function called cv.moments. And then if I pass in my contours, okay, so that will give my moment, and then my center of mass in the x direction. If I cast it with an int, the value is going to be m10, so moment in that axis, divided by the moment in the other axis. And if I repeat this for the y component, the main difference is going to be instead of 1, 0, you're going to have element 0, 1, and then the end part is the same. So we could go ahead and plot this to see where the center of mass is. So if I do plt.subplot, I have a 2, 3, 4 now. plt.show and then image cmap equals gray. And then have my plt.plot go ahead and plot my cx and cy using a red star. So let's see my center of mass plotted. And you can see a star show up here. Okay, so that's our center of mass. Okay, so there's some other things you can do. We could do some contour approximation as well. So here we'll jump into that. There's a parameter you could use called epsilon, and it's going to depend on your perimeter. So let's go ahead and calculate the area and perimeter first, because we'll need that. So let's say you wanted to find the area of the contour. Some things you could do is cv.contour area, and then you pass in the contours, and then that will give you your area. It's pretty simple. And then if you want the perimeter of your contour, you could do cv.arc length, and then you pass in your contours, and then closed, you'll say true. So that's my perimeter. Now, if I want to do the approximation, like I said earlier, you could define a epsilon, which will be some percentage of your perimeter. And then my approx contour is going to be found using the function called approx poly dp. So here you pass in your contours, and then the epsilon value that we just calculated, and then true for closed. So that's my approximation. Now I'm going to do some casting to make it plottable. So here I'm going to do approx equals mp, going to put inside an array. And then the next step is I want to concatenate it, because the last point, it won't be closed unless I append the last point. So approx equals mp dot concatenate. And then I'm going to pass in my approx and then the last value of my approx, which is that. And then I tell it what axis I'm concatenating it. And then finally I could plot it. So plt.plot and then approx. I'm going to pass in the x values, and then approx, and then the y values. Okay, so now if I plot this, we should see approximate contour. Voila, you can see the approximated contour uses a lot fewer segments, and it's in blue now. Okay, so that's my approximated contour. And then there's also other things, properties and features of contours you might be interested in. So there's this thing called the convex hull. So if you were to draw some lines as containing it, that's what the convex hull is. It'll pretty much the main border that contains the whole structure that you're trying to capture. So if I do a hull here equals cv dot convex hull, so you can see point input 2D sets finds the convex hull of a point set, right? So that'll make more sense once we plot it. So here we're gonna have contours, and then pass in our contour. So that's our hull. And then here what we're gonna do is extract part of it. Okay, and then next up we're gonna concatenate. So we're doing a similar thing where we're getting the last point for plotting purposes. So mp dot concatenate, and then we have our hull here, and then pass in hull. So previous step we did was just because when you calculate it, it extracts it as like the array dimensions is a little bit funky, so we need to take part of the array out and then modify it. Okay, so that is our convex hull, and then we concatenate it, and then we need to specify the axis. So the axis we're concatenating it is going to be 0. And then we could now plot it, plt.subplot, and then pass in 2, 3, 5. And then from here, you could do plt.show, and then do image, cmap, and gray. And now I could do plt.plot. I'll pass in my whole here, my x values, and then whole should be a 0. And then I'll pass in my y values, and I'll use a red line here. So if I run my function, we should see our new convex hole. So you can see that these are the lines that contain all the contour. Okay. So that is our hole. And then you could do other things too, where maybe you want a bounding box. Let me clear this. You can have a bounding box where it's just using either a rectangle, a circle, whatever object you want that contains it. Here we're gonna use an example with a rectangle. So I have my xy width and height. It's gonna be cv dot bounding rectangle, and we're gonna pass in our contours. And next we're going to do plt dot subplot. This is our sixth one, and then we could use a rectangle function, which will draw a rectangle. So if we go ahead and pass an image, and we're going to start off with xy location, and then our new point is going to be x plus w, and then y plus h. And we'll draw a white box, and then thickness of 2. And then this should show us our box. Let's see. plt.subplot. Okay, so that's our rectangle, and then plt dot, forgot to add the show, our image here, cmap of gray. Okay, so that should be it. If I run this, we see the box around our rectangle. Okay, so this may be useful if we just want to have a clean representation of where an object is. Now, lastly, I just want to wrap up with some features properties of contours that you may use. So here we have, you could get something like the aspect ratio, and this will just be a simply width divided by height. You could do things like get the extent of your contour, which will be defined as the area divided by width times the height. Pretty much how much of the rectangle is occupied. You could also get the solidity, which will be area divided by cv dot contour area, and I'll pass in the whole. So solidity is how much of the area divided by the convex area, and then you also have like a equal diameter, which will be the diameter of a circle with the same area as the contour. So this could be calculated as np.sqrt, 4 times the area divided by np.pi. And then the last property I want to talk about is going to be the fit ellipse. So this may be useful if you're trying to find an angle. So I could do that equals cv.fit ellipse here, and then pass in my contours. Okay, so this could be useful if you're trying to align something and you're trying to find the orientation. Okay, so if you found this video helpful, give a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.